She's probably gonna be stoked. What's up? Coming to you live from somewhere else. A exotic island. Perhaps. Today, episode 7, the live stream series. We're going to be doing hip mobility with the workout we did last week with a little bit of a change up. Mostly arms and shoulders. So once again, want to do a small warm up. So we're going to start with hip mobility warm up. Get the hips fired up. And we want to do what's called a fire hydrant into leg extension. So you want to start here, bring your leg all the way out, then kick it straight, bring it back in before you bring it back to this position. And we want to do 10 reps. Hi, Winston. Hi, Winston. So we're going to do 10 reps. Kick all the way out, feel a stretch in the outer part of the thigh here. Then you're going to bring it back in. Pause that full extension right here. And you'll be good to go. Hey, thank you for the follow. I gotta increase the audio a little bit. This is gonna really help activate the muscles in your hips that get underused and can help prevent muscle tightness and even issues in the back. It's gonna work our external rotators of the hip. 2 more. Make sure you don't compensate by leaning to your right side if you're working your left leg, or leaning to your left if you're working your right leg. Because what our body will want to do is actually lean to the right to compensate for a lack of range of motion right here. So just go as far as your body will let you, kick out, bring it back in. Switch sides. Yes, my pelvic floor is very flexible. I stretch often. Thank you, your Black Knight. Hope you guys are trying the workout today. I figured I would change it up. I got a new green screen for my video game streaming, and I figured we'd put it together for the fitness to try to, you know, get some laughs out of it and take your mind off, your hard day at work or school, and just move and work our hips, and we're just gonna feel good today after this workout. This is a pup-friendly stream. You're gonna see many pups running in through the stream, so feel free to work out with your pets. Okay, so that was what we call fire hydrant into hip leg extension. That's just gonna help warm up the hips. That can be used for warm up for running or any type of exercise, really. Definitely recommend it. Then we're gonna go to bent over reverse fly. So we're gonna sit in a Romanian deadlift position and basically work the upper back and the shoulders. And you want to use probably either 3 pounds or 0 if you don't have a 3-pound weight, just because we're just trying to warm up here. So what I'm doing here is not squatting. I'm going to hinge back, feel that stretch on the hamstrings, and then you want to push your chest to the floor so you have a flat back. Pull in your core. If you have a round back, try to pull in your abs and push your butt back. And that's the position we want to hold while doing this. You're going to do 10 reps. And you're going to bring the weight up, squeeze the shoulder blades, and about that speed. Hi. The pups are under me. Hi, Archer. And 5 left. This will help warm up the shoulder blades and engage like parts of your upper back, and as well as the shoulders. We're gonna do a lot of shoulders today, a lot of biceps, a lot of triceps, and then we have one more hip exercise to do before we start the workout. So you want to do about 10 to 12 reps of those. It's going to help warm up the lower body as well, because what you want to do is not have knees forward. You want to push hips back in this position. So then we're going to do a lateral lunge, and we're going to do only about 5 to 8 reps each side, depending on if you've done them before. You want to take a step to the side, keep this leg straight, push your hips back, and lean. Can you bring it down a little bit? Just to team it. Yep, so step to the side, lean back, and push off and go back to the starting position. We want to do 10 reps like that, or actually 5 to 8. So I'm going to do about 8 reps here, and just work out one side at a time. Feel a stretch in this leg, and the contraction here. We're just going to work mobility, because there's not a lot of times where we actually work side to side like this, but it's a good way to increase the mobility of your hips. Last one. Okay, so if you can only do a couple, if you're having trouble with form, just do what you can. We're going to switch sides. Remember, keep this leg straight, feel the stretch up in here, push your hips back. If I go to this direction, I'm not just going to go forward with my knee, I'm actually going to push my hips back as I lean into the stretch. Okay. Okay, let's go 6 more.
Archer. Come here. Archer.
Awesome. You always want to get like a good 5-10 minute warm up in. I'm a big fan of dynamic warm ups, working your body in range of motions that you're going to work during the workout, as opposed to just static stretching. You can do a little bit of stretching, like that's fine, but you're better off doing like a short walk or a very short jog or things like this where you're moving and you're just working your heart rate up gradually and you're preparing the joints for movement. In this case, we're working the arms and the core and the legs to prepare for our workout. So how's this going to go? We're going to do 2 exercises at a time. Do it for 3 sets. Have a 20-second break after we do both exercises. So keep it real simple here. I'm going to demonstrate each one for the first set. We'll do it, and then we'll just go full time, real time for the rest of it as well. So what we're going to do first, shoulder press. You want to grab, if you have weights with you, grab 5 pounds to start, especially if you've never done a shoulder press before. We're going to do a minute of work for all these exercises, so it's not going to require a lot of weight. Okay, so what we want to do, grab your dumbbells if you have them. You could also grab, if you don't have any weights, you could grab some soup cans in the kitchen, to be honest. I've had people do it. So what you want to do, bring your hands like this, but my elbows aren't flared all the way out here. They're actually pushing a little bit more at like a 45-degree angle. And you're going to press them up, bring them down slowly, and then repeat. And we're going to do that for the whole minute. Then we're going to go to the hammer curl, which is basically going to be, have your hands here. You want to bring them up to this position here. 1, 2, 3, count on the way down. So we work a different part of your bicep, and it's also going to work the forearms. So like that. What we're going to do is each of those for a minute, then we have a 20-second break, go through it 2 more times, then we go to the next 2 exercises. Give me 1 sec. Nice. So, starting with the shoulder press. Slow and control is the name of the game here. If you're using too much weight, you're not going to be able to do it very long for one. You won't be working the muscle correctly. So start lighter than you think you need. 5 seconds. Then we're going to go to what we call a hammer curl. Also, you can use about 5 pounds. And go. So arms at your side. Try to keep your upper arm stable. Pretend like you have a piece of paper between your side and your arm, and you can't let it go. Otherwise, it would fall if you went like that. Squeeze the piece of paper. Here. Slow all the way down. your body will naturally want to speed up the reps. Try to keep them slow and controlled here. I promise you it'll be worth it. We're gonna do a 20-second break here. Then we're gonna go through 2 more rounds. Then change up the exercise and do the same type of structure. Shoulder press. If the weight was too heavy, go down a little bit. If it was too light, you can go up by a couple pounds. Just make sure you're not in like this position. Puts too much tension on the shoulder. We want to keep tension more on our triceps, and just be a little more gentle with your shoulder, and you'll activate more of the chest right there too. And try not to stand flat-footed. So I'm not going to be, like this position here, arching my back. I want to pull the abs in, be strong in your lower body, have your hips slightly back, and be like in what we call that ready position. Like if someone's going to come at you, you're going to kind of get down that ready position. That's what you want to have. Don't be flat-footed. Then we got hammer curls. 1 minute. Winston just licked my toe. The pup. Got 25 seconds left. Keep going at a slow pace, slow on the way down. Pretend you have to keep a piece of paper in between your arms and your sides. That'll help engage your biceps more. Lock down the elbows. Finish up this last rep. 20 seconds, and we got 1 more set there. You want to say hi? He was licking my toes. Back to the shoulder press. Here. Slow on the way down. Control each motion. Hi Jill. Thanks for tuning in. You can probably enjoy this workout as well. There's a lot of hip mobility in the warm up. And we're going to do some stretches at the end. And it's a lot of arms with lightweight. You can do it with, I'm just using 5 pounds today for simplicity, so I don't have to change weights as much, but it's a great workout for sure. We got 20 seconds here. Once again, make sure you don't flare out your elbows too much. Don't be here. You want to just have them slightly pointed forward. Press them over your head, slow on the way down. And then you go to hammer curls. So I use the same weight, 5 pounds. You're going to bring them up here. 1, 2, 3 on the way down. And go. Twenty seconds left. Then we get a 20-second break. Then next what we're gonna do is switch the exercises out and go through what's called a tricep press and then a regular bicep curl. And for that one, we're gonna have to be on the ground for the first one, or if you have a bench at home, take about 5 to 10 pounds. And instead of having your hands here, bring them in a little bit so that your elbows are pointing forward. And you're going to press the dumbbells up, or whatever you have for weight, and then just actually bring them together here. Squeeze your chest and straighten your arms fully, and then bring them back down in the same path that you went up. And we want to do that for a minute, and then we will do a standing traditional bicep curl, like so. So, start with the.
The highest point in Michigan is 571 feet.
Love the background. No problem. I actually worked for a couple hours today, like trying to set this up. So I hope you guys all enjoy it because it was kind of a biatch to set up. Reminds me of Hawaii. Yeah, that's what I thought, Jill. That's what I was thinking. I'm gonna try to have different backgrounds for some of the workouts. So we're gonna start with the dumbbell press. I'm sorry, tricep press. We're actually going to engage the triceps more here. But what I like is we have to squeeze our chest here, which is called the horizontal abduction. And you're going to actually squeeze the chest fully and engage them more than you would in a traditional dumbbell press because our shoulders have a tendency to take over during that motion. I like to keep my feet flat like this. You can also have them flat. I just found that this will decrease some of the pressure in your lower back. And finish the last rep you're on. We're going to stand up, go to bicep curl. And go ahead. So you want to end with your pinky kind of going a little bit higher than your thumb. And that will do a full contraction of your biceps. And go ahead. 1 minute worth. Slow on the way down. We're going to fry the biceps today. Try to breathe with every rep. I inhale through the nose, right here. Exhale when you curl up. I like to think, viewers, that it is Tahiti. It looks like Tahiti to me, the background. I just love the little
Hey.
chair that's hanging.
Winston? Hey.
So we get a 20-second break, and then we go
No.
back to the ground, do the tricep press. If you want, you can squeeze in a quick little drink. I would definitely appreciate it. And to the ground. So bring your elbows in, and 1 minute worth. Tricep press. Go. 15 seconds. Try not to increase the tempo. Slowly work through the range of motion. And switch to bicep curl. Once again, I'm using about 5 pounds. Turks and Caicos. Yeah, it does. It could be that one too, for sure. I miss those days. We took a family trip to Turks and Caicos, chat. I think it was 2015, and Jill was there. Jill D921. My cousin Cody and my mom's in here too. Jules R and 45. We all did I think we had like 8 or 9 of us. We did about a 2-week vacation in Turks and Caicos, and it was a good time, for sure. Is that a car alarm? Great. So, sorry to ruin your tropical meditation, but there is a car alarm going off in my apartment complex. That really ruins it for me. Seriously? Just let the exercise do the work. I'll just work it out through these bicep curls. Man, that's really getting on my nerves though. Okay. 20-second break. Someone please figure out whose car that is. And then we got one more set on those. Seriously, how do you not hear this? 5 seconds. We got one more set. Go down to the floor. Tricep press. Are you serious?
It's parked right there.
Trying to keep it as a family approved stream, but I tell you what, it's getting real hard. Shut that car up. What is happening right now? Thank you. One more rep. Sorry about that, everyone. That was just as bad for you as it was for me. And we're gonna go to bicep curl. 1 minute. And go. Remember, go slow on the way down. Try to pull your pinky side up higher than your thumb side. So I kind of bring them down to here, and I curl the inner part closer to my body up higher than the side on the outside of my body. Eight seconds left. If you're feeling the burn, keep it going. Don't give up. One more. There we go. So what we want to do, transition to the next one, it's going to be a tricep skull crusher or tricep extension. Basically in the past, I've had us do tricep kickbacks like this. We're going to do that, but on the ground, on our backs, like we would do a dumbbell press, basically something like that. So we're going to go to the ground. I'll demonstrate that one. Have about 3 to 5 pounds. What you want to do is start with the dumbbells above you here. Bring them back so you feel a stretch in your back is here. Keep your arms straight. And try to not move much at the upper arm, just move at the elbow joint. And you're going to bring them down to here. Then you're going to press them up. Like that. So you don't want to swing them up like so. You want to try to lock the upper arm down right here. And just bring the lower arm up. Hi, Winston. Thank you. Thank you for the kisses, bud. So that's how that should look. And we want to do 1 minute's worth. And go ahead. So bring them right here. You're going to feel a stretch on the back of the arm. Try not to swing them forward at all like that. You want to keep them locked down. Just move the lower arm with the dumbbells. And then slow them way down. This is also called a tricep extension or a dumbbell skull crusher. Because we gotta bring them down towards our skull or our head. But it's a good way to isolate the triceps. Get a good burn in the back of the arms. Hi, you're gonna get hit in the face with the dumbbell, bud. If the 5 pounds gets too heavy, you can always decrease a little bit and do them without any weight or very little weight. So then we want to transition to a shoulder exercise. For this one, I want 1 to 3 pounds. 5 will get a little heavy because we're going to work each range of motion of our shoulder. You're going to start up here, bring him back, then down, and then up again to the front, and then back where you started. And we're going to do that for the whole minute. So, I'll do it with you. Bring them up, back, down. Bring them up to the side, work the side delt here, and that'd be 2 reps. 1. Nice, all controlled. You get a better burn. You got 1 more rep here. Let's finish 1 more. So that's going to work the front of the shoulder, the side, and the back, as well as some of the shoulder girdle. Great exercise. We got about 7 seconds. We're going to do that 2 more times, starting with the skull crusher, laying on the ground. On Facebook, hello Lisa, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hopefully you get to use this workout in the morning like you did the others. Oh, thanks Vincent and Beans. Thank you. That's gross. Thank you for the kisses. So, tricep press. Bring him down. Press up. last rep. So if you want to stand up and do lateral shoulder raises, but you gotta change your weight down a little bit to 1 to 3 pounds instead of having the 5 for the last exercise. Okay, so bring them up, back here, and down. Oops, what's that? 30 seconds left. Can you see me on Facebook? Like,
Yeah,
I
just
do
checked it
these.
a couple times.
Thanks to whoever was tuning in today on Facebook and Twitch. I appreciate it a lot. Hopefully you guys get to use a good workout today, and whenever you want, you can do these. Just make sure you use the warm-up. They can be done as much as, 2 or 3 times a week to build up strength and mobility in your hips and all the rest of your muscles. So we're going to do a 20-second break, and we got one more set. Then we're going to do a cool down, and that's pretty much going to be it for this week. We want to go to the ground. Go back to this tricep skull crusher. We hit you with a little shocker of going back to an exercise we did in previous rounds. So what I want you to do now is go back to the tricep skull crusher. Have your arms back. Fully extend here. And you want to have 3 to 5 pounds, even though if it feels light at first. Timer's a little off, still got 20 seconds. I didn't start in time, I apologize. 15 seconds. Try to keep your upper arms still. You don't want to swing them up like that. And then 2 more reps. 1, slow on the way down. 2. Cool. So yeah, like I said, you can do that workout a couple times a week too if you're not doing any other program, or if you want to increase the flexibility and strength in multiple muscle groups in your body. Now we want to cool down. We're going to be doing a couple different stretches. I like to do a dynamic warm-up as far as instead of like static stretching, and then do more of the static stretching at the end and help our body cool down, bring our heart rate down, and prepare the body for rest again. So I like to cool down the spine first. We're going to do cat to cow pose on the ground. My other videos have this exercise in them a lot. A lot of times I go from table to cat, but today we're actually going to go up to cat, and you want to have your hips in line with your knees, and then your knees in line with your hands, so you're not too narrow here or too wide. Once you have that down, you want to push through your heels of your hands, your palms, up to this position, and you should feel a stretch in your upper back. You want to hold that for 1 or 2 breaths or 3 seconds. From there, you're going to push down into what we call cow, and it's going to have that curvature in your back here. And we're just going to be working the full range of motion of our spine, trying to cool it down and actually dynamically stretch it out. And we want to do 10 repetitions or 10 breaths. And feel free to have the freedom to, hold it a little longer than I am. Sometimes in certain repetitions, I'll hold it a little longer. Get a really good stretch right here. And my kind of tuck my chin in and face towards the middle of my body. One more. That can be used as a warm up as well, or a good cool down. Then we want to stretch the hips. So what we're gonna do is called a modified pigeon pose, and what you want to do, be in that same position, what we call table. Okay, and you're gonna cross over your hip, this knee over the left leg over your right leg, like so, and that's gonna create a stretch on the right glute. Okay, I probably should do this side first. So right leg over the left leg, stretch right here. Then what we want to do is go down to our forearms. If you have the flexibility here, it's going to create a stretch more in our back and increase the stretch in our glute here. Hold it for 30 seconds. If you can't be at this position, you can go back to here and just stretch it out like that. When you stretch, any kind of stretch, you want to do it more than just 10 seconds. You know, with exercise training, we want to do the exercise for, about a minute to get fatigue on the muscle group and work it hard enough and create those adaptations and strength. Flexibility is the same way. We got to stretch it for 30 seconds or more to inflict those adaptations on the muscle groups. To increase the flexibility and release the tightness and increase our mobility in the end. So that's why I'm a big fan of stretching in a position that's a light stretch at first, holding it for 30 seconds, as opposed to going too deep into the stretch where you're like kind of wincing and not being able to hold it too long. You're better off having a lighter stretch, holding it longer. If that's the case, if it's really intense, what you can do is bring your leg back up and get up to this position and just continue stretching that. And we got 5 seconds left here. So let's go. Modified pigeon. Great one for the upper back and the hips. So this one's kind of different. What we want to do here is go on our back. And what you want to do is bring one leg up, have your other leg resting down. This position here, have your head down, and what's going to happen is I'm going to rotate to the left as I pull my leg that way, but I'm going to keep my right side down. So let me just scoot over a little bit. This shoulder's going to stay down. This one's going to grab right on the outer part of my thigh. And I'm going to rotate till I find a stretch in my lower back here, and then push downward force with this arm to create a stretch here. And we're going to hold that. Ooh, yep, just got a nice back crack. So that will happen. It'll help relieve pressure in your middle lower spine. And but that's not the only thing. What we want to do is hold this for 10 to 15 seconds after you find the stretch, and we want to fully extend our leg, and that is going to intensify the stretch by about double. And you're gonna feel it shoot up your leg here and back down. Hold that for about 5 seconds, bring it back down, and then slowly release to the ground because we want to change sides. And if you didn't get that, we'll repeat on this one. You want to keep the left shoulder down, and the right arm's going to just pull slightly down as I rotate across to create a stretch in the lower back and the thigh. So once you find a stretch here, hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then we're going to fully extend this leg to increase the stretch right here. And that's going to get real intense for y'all, but I'm telling you, you'll feel a lot better after. It's going to loosen up some muscles that are underactive in your hips. Something that a lot of people struggle with. Bring it back down. And like that. Awesome. So you can actually do that. Usually I do that 2 times. Just for time's sake, we're going to do it once. I like to do that, switch legs each time, and do 2 sets each side. And that can be done about 3 times a week to really pressure in your hips and try it. And that also can be done after a workout like this. The last one here is going to be what we call a 90-90 hip dynamic to static stretch. So what you want to do, the 90-90 comes from the terms of the position that your legs make when you sit in this position. So my ankle's in line with my knee here, and then my hip and my knee are like in a straight line from each other, and that's my back leg. The front leg is going to mimic that same position. It's a little hard for you to see there, but you kind of get the picture. It's going to mimic this back leg. And right here, I actually do feel a stretch on the outside of the hip and a lot in the inner thigh. So if this is really intense for you, you don't want to do this next step. You're just going to sit in this position for 15 to 30 seconds and do about 2 reps each side, switching after each rep. But what we want to do here is actually bring your hands back to this position. I just got to move up a little bit. And what you want to do is push through your heels, rotate to this position. So it's the same position on the other side. And that is a very advanced technique for mobility of your hips. So if you can't do it, don't worry, but this is what I want you guys to strive to. I'm pushing through my heels. I'm going to go back the other way. Keeping the 90-degree motion. And then squeezing my hips into the ground to switch back. If that's too much, you sit in this 90-degree position for 15 to 30 seconds. The added dynamic part is just advanced and can really help work the muscle while we're stretching it, as far as like the inner thigh and the outer thigh. So if you didn't switch sides yet, go ahead and change sides and do a static stretch. And then I'm going to do one more dynamic for the people that want to try it or work up to it. If you do the workout a few times, you might be able to work up to actually being able to do that position. So I started here and bring it back down. So yeah, that's a really good view right there. You can kind of see how I transition slowly, but I'm squeezing my hips into the ground right when I get to here. So I would do this, if you did the dynamic version, I would do 5 repetitions each side very slowly, and then build your way up to the repetitions. Awesome. So lastly, I do want to do child's pose. Just help bring our heart rate down and relax everything. So start in table here, and you want to push your hips back. If you can't get all the way back to your legs, that's okay, your feet. You can be here. That can be due to just like a little bit of flexibility. But if you can, great. Get to here, and then have your arms all the way forward. Actually put the side of my arm here down. So you stretch the lats and the back. And I want you to push your head towards your navel or the middle of your body. And we're going to just do this for about 45 seconds. good modification, I will come up on my fingertips here and outstretch them. This is called puppy pose, and that will help actually stretch a lot of different muscles that as compared to the regular stretch of child's pose, as well as work the finger muscles. You get a deep stretch in here. Nice stretch, yeah. I appreciate it, Mom. Thanks for watching. That is a great one. That's what I do with a lot of clients to help mobility of the hips. So thank you, Facebook, for joining in. Thank you, my viewers on Twitch. I will see y'all next week. I might be doing one Monday, but for sure Wednesday, 7:05 p.m. I'm going to be editing this one, putting it on Destined to Move page, as well as my regular page on Facebook, as well as Instagram TV. And it'll be on Twitch for pretty much ever. So you can always go to www.twitch.tv/L_NEEZY, Elmeezy, to watch it on Twitch. Because I actually did a live stream on Twitch with a nice background. So you and Facebook don't get to see it, you get to see the green screen. But if you go on Twitch, you can actually see a nice virtual background. So thanks for all tuning in, and I hope you have a great night. See you later.